I don't know how many people were here last time I spoke. I came to the very first one, and there's about half of you, so I'm just going to give you a brief. My son was killed in 2003 by a light rail on a crosswalk, and I thought that you could sue TriMet to make a difference. But as time went on and I looked at it, it wasn't about that. It was about a culture of TriMet. So in 2007, I passed a law, and it was that they had to go back to every single crosswalk to see how safe it was, because when they laid the line, they built around it. And then as we hit and killed people and maimed them, we made it better, but never came back. So when they went back, they have to change at least 66 to 80. And if you notice on the southeast side, they are doing that, and it's been done in the last 6 to 10 months probably. Then, after I passed the law in 2007, went to the board of directors, asked them how my law was coming before. I'm kind of skipping around, sorry. But the board didn't know after a year, and they were supposed to have the study done. So then I knew that there was a problem with inside TriMet. I know this looks like a lot, but I'll make it quick. When I started this, what I found was in 1999, TriMet did a study of Corps of Engineers. At that time, they came back, gave them a list of all the crosswalks that were bad. Then they also did a poll from the light red drivers and asked them the bad stops. Well, they were the same ones from the Corps of Engineers. Nothing was done with that study. They were also told the front of the trains are wide open. Your new ones are not. So they asked them to put cattle guards on them. Maybe that would help. So if you hit a pedestrian, you knock them off to the side instead of sucking them underneath. They were on for 6 months. They took them off. They said it didn't work. Well, to come to find out, it was a lot more money to put them on and take them off. So with time and what I've been through is in 2009 when I went back to Salem, and the general manager then was Fred. He was supposed to, they were saying, putting channelization in Gresham, where my son was killed, Gresham City Hall in March of 2009. And in November of 2009, they killed a gentleman, same spot, put it in a week later. There's kind of a distrust there if every time you try to do something, they say something is not being done. I have in front of me, I was explaining before, the statistics 1994 to 2006. When I was in Salem, they turned it in 1 week. And it was 2007 to pass the law, but we're talking 1994 to 2006. 1 week it was 505, 75 pedestrians, 27 bicyclists, 402 cars. The following week, or 504, excuse me, the following week was 505. There were 2 different reports run on maybe a different side of the building. So in other words, within the company, they don't have the same reports. So as I look, and we were talking, and I will give you all this information. TriMet can give them to you, the Corps of Engineers, the copy of 1999. What I've been doing lately is doing a lot of speaking, because what I see is from the very top, we don't have oversight. And if you're only going to be here till October, that's not going to cut it. Because I've been working this for 7 years. You need somebody to go inside and take a look at TriMet. And or you have a review like this, you go in and you continue it. Because just coming here and doing it for a few months, they can get better for 2 or 3 weeks or a month, but then they go back. And education, we talk about that. I went to Phoenix recently. Steve Banta used to work for TriMet. He left about 6 months ago. He is now CEO there. They have pamphlets for education, and these pamphlets go in for the buses, they go in for the rail, and in the front they're in English, in the back they're in Spanish. We do not have them down here in the information centers on education. What TriMet has for education for you is this little booklet that they hand out, and some for kids. We're not educating at the schools, and we're not educating our public. And people come in from out of town. So we need education. There's federal funding for it, and if it takes us to get grants, we need people to do that. Also, too, I had gotten some information from TriMet bus drivers. TriMet policies is to make sure bus drivers get from one end of the line to the other and on time, or they get written up. They don't take it into each driver's ability. Number of operators are fired for minor stuff, and they go into the union and fight through the union. A lot of the drivers have issues, and it's swept underneath the carpet. For many years, drivers have complained about blind spots on the buses. They are told, these are mine. Let's see. It has something to do with the mirrors and on the buses and the way it swings. So I think in this information that I got has to deal with the bus drivers and the fact that they aren't listened to. My son, since he was killed by the light rail, I've been mainly going for that, but then in the past 4 years I decided, you know what, it's not just light rail, it's the buses, it's TriMet, and I believe you need somebody to come in from the outside. I asked this morning that they bring in to you tonight at the meeting, and that was all the statistics like I have. He gave you a graph. The graph doesn't show you how many people they hit in those graphs, and looking at the graphs are different than the information that I've gotten from TriMet. So I really think as a group of, if you are this task force and you really want them to be safe, you also need to go inside and check it out, or have someone else do that. You have a gentleman in the area, 30 years, UPS, and he could go in. He's from the outside, doesn't work for TriMet, can take a look and give suggestions on how it's done. I have an app of his that gives you the information on him, and you can see it, because I think you do need somebody besides just TriMet looking on the inside. You need transparency. If you don't get the transparency, we're not going to make any changes. And from what I see, from 1999 to 2010, we're still in the same situation. No matter if I pass a law, it didn't make any difference. It did help make it safe on the crosswalks, but the education's not out there. And you know what? Other people, lots of people are living my life. People that are maimed in nursing homes out in Gresham. People that won't ever be able to work again. So you have to really sit back and consider, if it really was about safety, would they have already done it? Would it take us parents, Dave, myself, to come to them to say we need to make it safe? It's a top priority, and it looks like it's money. I go to safety meetings, board of directors. Today they talked. Then I asked, we didn't talk about the boy that was hit. He's 23 years old, just a few weeks ago, and it's on the new line. They didn't talk about that. And the key there is they had made it safe over here for where the station was. The pedestrian has it wide open, says look both ways. The cars, they have a light, but they get gates. Why aren't we looking ahead? We have tripods, things like that. Yes, that's part of our new culture now. But if we're going to give gates for the cars, let's give them for the pedestrians too. I thank you very much for listening to me, and I think it'd be beneficial for all of you to spend some time with us that have spent time working this, not just giving us 3 to 5 minutes. Let us come be a part and show you what we have, that I have, that TriMet's given me, and then also what they give you, so that we can really open this up and make it better for the public.